Have you ever felt like the version of history we've been taught leaves out too much? Like the most fascinating parts are always missing or just brushed off as myths? Well, you're not wrong. Around the world, there are discoveries, real, documented finds, that suggest ancient civilizations knew far more than we give them credit for. From mysterious technology to knowledge lost in time, these stories were buried, sometimes literally, for centuries. But once you hear them, you'll never look at history the same way again. Let's count down 10 ancient secrets that have been hidden from us. Until now. 10. The Baghdad Battery. Electricity before Edison? In 1938, a German archaeologist named Wilhelm Koenig discovered a small clay jar near Baghdad. Inside it was a copper cylinder, and within that was an iron rod. At first glance, it didn't look like anything special. But later tests showed that when filled with vinegar or grape juice, the jar could produce a small electric charge. This object, believed to date back to around 250 BCE, is now known as the Baghdad Battery. Some researchers think it may have been used for electroplating, coating objects with a thin layer of metal. Others say it could have had medical or religious uses involving electricity. Either way, this discovery challenges the idea that electricity was only discovered in the 18th century. The big question is, why isn't this taught more widely? 9. The lost city of Dvarka underwater civilization? Off the coast of Gujarat, India, marine archaeologists made a stunning discovery in 2001. Using sonar scanning, they found the remains of a massive city submerged about 120 feet under the Arabian Sea. Roads, walls, and what appeared to be a grid-like city structure stretched for several miles. Carbon dating of artifacts suggested the city was over 9,000 years old. What makes this so strange is that mainstream history claims urban civilization only began around 4,000 to 5,000 years ago. If Dvarka is truly that old, it could rewrite human history. Interestingly, ancient Indian texts like the Mahabharata speak of a golden city called Dvarka ruled by the god Krishna. Was this myth actually history all along? 8. The Antikythera mechanism. Ancient computer. In 1901, divers exploring a Roman shipwreck off the coast of the Greek island Antikythera found a corroded piece of metal with gears inside. For decades, it was dismissed as just an odd mechanical object. But as technology advanced, researchers began to realize its true purpose. Now known as the Antikythera mechanism, this device is believed to date back to around 150 BCE and is considered the world's first analog computer. It could predict lunar and solar eclipses, track planetary movements, and even mark Olympic cycles. Nothing else like it appears in historical records for over 1,000 years. The level of craftsmanship is so advanced that it shocked scientists. How could something so complex be built so long ago? 7. The Nazca Lines. Aerial art without flight? In the deserts of southern Peru, massive drawings are etched into the earth. So big, you can only truly see them from the air. These are the Nazca Lines. They form shapes of animals, plants, and geometric designs. Some are over 1,200 feet long and were created between 500 BCE and 500 CE. The mystery is, how did the Nazca people design such precise, large-scale images without any aerial view? Some researchers believe they used ropes and stakes to map them on the ground, but others suggest they had a more advanced understanding of mathematics and surveying. And then there's the theory that we're missing something much bigger, like knowledge of flight or advanced mapping techniques that history hasn't acknowledged. 6. Egyptian light bulbs. Misinterpreted art? In the Hathor Temple at Dendra, Egypt, there are carvings that show what look like giant light bulbs. These strange images show a tube-shaped object with a snake inside, connected to a box with wires or cords. To many, it just looks like ancient symbolism. But in the 20th century, some electrical engineers looked at the carving and said, that looks like a Crookes tube, a kind of early light bulb from the 19th century. There's no solid proof that the ancient Egyptians had electricity, but the artwork has sparked serious debates. Some suggest it represents spiritual energy or mythological symbols. Others argue it's possible they understood static electricity or other forms of energy. Whatever the truth is, it challenges what we think we know about ancient tech. 5. Roman concrete stronger than ours? Roman buildings like the Pantheon and aqueducts have stood for over 2,000 years. Meanwhile, some modern concrete structures start to crack in just a few decades. So what did the Romans do differently? Scientists have studied Roman concrete and found that they used a mix of volcanic ash, lime, and seawater. This combination caused a chemical reaction that strengthened the material over time. In 2017, researchers from the University of Utah found that the concrete actually becomes stronger when exposed to seawater, due to a rare mineral called altobermarite forming in the cracks. This knowledge was lost for centuries. If we'd kept using it, we might have buildings and bridges today that last hundreds of years instead of needing constant repairs. 4. The Library of Alexandria, knowledge erased. The Library of Alexandria in Egypt was one of the greatest learning centers in ancient history. Built in the 3rd century BCE, it reportedly held over 400,000 scrolls from all over the ancient world. It was said to contain writings on astronomy, mathematics, medicine, and even technology far ahead of its time. Then it vanished. The exact cause of its destruction is debated. Some blame Julius Caesar's invasion in 48 BCE. Others think it declined over centuries due to neglect and religious conflict. Either way, its loss was a disaster for human knowledge. Imagine what secrets we could have uncovered if even half of those scrolls survived. 3. Ancient brain surgery trepanation. Across multiple ancient cultures, including the Inca in Peru and tribes in Africa and Europe, there's evidence of trepanation, cutting a hole into a person's skull. That might sound horrifying, but here's the wild part. Many of the patients survived. Archaeologists have found skulls over 1,000 years old with clean, healed holes, suggesting that the surgery was done with care and knowledge. In Peru alone, over 800 trepan skulls have been discovered, dating back to 500 BCE. Some believe it was done to treat injuries, while others think it had spiritual or medical purposes. Either way, it shows that ancient medicine may have been far more advanced than we assume. 2. Göbekli Tepe, the oldest temple ever found. Before 1994, the general belief was that organized religion and temples only appeared after humans settled into farming communities. Then came Göbekli Tepe. Located in modern-day Turkey, Göbekli Tepe is a massive stone temple complex that dates back to around 9,600 BCE, over 11,000 years ago. That's thousands of years before Stonehenge or the Egyptian pyramids. It contains pillars weighing up to 20 tons, carved with detailed images of animals and symbols. What's even more surprising is that it seems to have been built by hunter-gatherers, not farmers. This flips our understanding of human history. It suggests that religion and complex societies may have existed before agriculture, not the other way around. 1. The Great Pyramids, built with forgotten technology. We've all seen the Pyramids of Giza. Built over 4,500 years ago, the Great Pyramid alone weighs over 6 million tons and is made of over 2 million limestone blocks. Some of these blocks weigh more than 70 tons, and they were placed with incredible precision. Some of the gaps between them are less than a millimeter. To this day, no one fully agrees on how they were built. The popular theory involves ramps and manpower, but even modern engineers struggle to explain how such heavy stones could be moved and placed so perfectly without cranes or machines. Some believe ancient builders had tools or knowledge that we've lost, possibly involving sound frequencies, simple machines, or materials that didn't survive. The fact that we still can't replicate it easily today shows just how incredible and mysterious this construction really was. And that's the list. 10 real discoveries that don't quite fit the version of history we've been told. These aren't theories pulled from thin air. These are objects, ruins, and records that exist in museums, research papers, and archaeological sites right now. And yet, they're rarely given the attention they deserve. Why? Maybe because admitting ancient people knew more than we think forces us to rethink everything. Or maybe because it's easier to stick to simple stories. If you enjoyed learning about these hidden parts of our past, make sure to hit the like button, share this video with a friend, and subscribe for more mind-opening content. There's still so much more out there that hasn't been uncovered, and we're just getting started.